Costa, the editor of Citizen's Eye and also of the Reportage Club. Pleased this evening to be able to host a talk by Andy Thomas. Good evening, Andy.
Hello, John.
About Yuri Gagarin, the man, the myth and the cosmos. We met a few months ago now, we were chatting about this and you said to me, it's the 50th anniversary coming up. If you organise it, I'll put the presentation on. You've done really well tonight, so tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you, John. I mean, there are probably 5 things going on in England tonight. This is one of them. This is Leicester, and we're doing it now. Yuri Gagarin, I think, was more than a Soviet cosmonaut, more than a Russian cosmonaut. Actually, he was a representative of humankind. He was the first person into space. And, you know, for Russia, space is it. It goes right back to pagan times, pre-Orthodox Christians who took it on, and it's all about where we are, where our souls are, and how we relate to the big universe, the big sky.
Now, we've had 25 people who've come along tonight. And
I think it was more.
Was it more than that?
I think it was 28, 29.
Okay, 28. We'll go with that. Maybe nearly 30. Yeah.
Well, there were 30 seats, and I think 1 or 2 were empty.
Good. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. It was very nice to talk to people. We had, I think, a whole range of audience. We had people who were space freaks, I think. We had people. There was a chap in there who remembered from. He's slightly older than me. He remembered from his youth how he'd got the EP extended play record, the 7-inch, that I took the digital recording for. Who could obviously relate to more easily to the recordings that I'd got from Radio Moscow and all the rest of it. Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
And we had a young reporter from Wave, the Young People's Newspaper as well.
Yes, indeed, and I'd be very interested in how young people see this, because this is a big generational thing. I mean, we go back 50 years in this, from 2011 to 1961. But if you were 18, you know, in 1961, and you go back 50 years before that, well, of course, that's your parents. You only have to do it once more, and you're in the whole era of the 19th century, and you're into the key figures of Russian philosophy about space, Konstantin Tsiolkovsky and Nikolai Fyodorov. And for me, that's where it comes from. It goes back at least 150 years. This is not a space race between Russia and America. This is about Russia, this is about the universe, the cosmos.
Now, in the last week or so, the mainstream media's had quite a lot of information and lots of documentaries on the television, and the newspaper today, the Metro's covered quite a big stretch. Do you think members of the public have an accurate image of Yuri Gagarin, or is it something that's been manufactured, do you think?
I think people feel... I think there are 2 schools of thought in the world. The first one is, yes, it's space. We must go there. The other one is, it is completely pointless. And, you know, people are either in one or the other. And I think that, you know, and the people who cannot see it, there's nothing you can do about it, really. They have very strong reasons, world poverty, famine, and so on, and I can see that. But for those of us who can see it, I think that there is something very fundamental that all churches and faiths in the world and all political systems find, that we are individually alone, but we are also in this big sky, in this big cosmos, and that's what we're trying to do here. And I think that when you see the video that I put up at the end from the European Space Agency, it's something that is a European, a Russian idea, Leonardo da Vinci, Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, which is about your place in space, your place in the universe.
Final question. In your presentation, you were talking about basically, you know, he's a member of humankind, and there he is strapped on top of an intercontinental ballistic missile.
Well, it was.
How do you feel, and from your research and your background, and you know the novel you've written and your thesis as well, how do you feel he viewed his own place in the universe?
Yuri was, and I call him Yuri because he is known in Russia as Yuri, our Yuri, Nashi Yuri. He, I think, was a modest man. He was a professional pilot, and he did the job he had to do within the Soviet Union. He's seen as basically a nice bloke. You know, he's a sort of bloke you'd have a pint with, and he had a reputation with women, and I think, you know, I think he was a very academic man. I think he was very professionally qualified. I think he had this huge smile that he was known for. People had romantic stories about meeting him. I think he was an icon of Russia. I think he was an icon of humankind. And I think that's it. Wasn't a hero in the sense of a brave man with the right stuff. He was a man, he was a person, he was a male person who went out into space. He went to see what the universe was, and he was the first guy to do that. And he sat on top of an intercontinental ballistic missile, and they went BAM! And he went and did it. And that takes some spirit to do that.
Andy, thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you.